Former mom influencer Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrand are each facing up to 30 years in prison for child abuse. During sentencing, Franke offered a tearful apology with her estranged husband and their 2 children there in court. ABC News Live anchor Kana Whitworth has the latest.
It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame.
A reckoning for the once popular momfluencer turned inmate Ruby Franke, now set to serve up to 30 years in prison for her role in abusing her own young children.
To my babies, my 6 little chicks, you are part of me.
The disgraced mother of 6 sobbing while apologizing to her family.
I took from you all that was soft and safe and good. I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you.
Franke's estranged husband, Kevin, and their 2 adult children in court. Overnight, Kevin's lawyer telling ABC News these injuries were both physical and psychological, and the scars will remain for a lifetime. The judge handing down the same sentence to Jody Hildebrand, who was once an established therapist in the Mormon Church with specialized training and counseling, a skill the judge says makes her more dangerous.
You terrorize children, and the results have been tragic.
Prosecutors likening the conditions Hildebrand created to a concentration camp-like setting.
They were beaten, and the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot.
Franke claiming Hildebrand manipulated her through their faith, the 2 often appearing together in Hildebrand's online life coaching program.
I'm Jody Hildebrand, and I'm Ruby Franke.
Hildebrand, for the first time, speaking out briefly in court.
I sincerely love these children. I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally.
But prosecutors questioning her acceptance of responsibility.
Miss Hildebrand just has not expressed any remorse.
You think Jody's going to end up serving more?
I hope that Jody does serve more. I think that would only be fair.
Franke's attorney alleging that Hildebrand was a powerful manipulator.
Deception started 4 years ago and progressively increased to the point where I think, truthfully, Ruby lost track of what was right versus wrong.
And ABC News Live anchor Kana Whitworth joins me now from Utah for more. Kana, you were in court when Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrand gave their statements. What was the reaction in the courtroom?
Yeah, Diane, I mean, it wasn't just emotional for Ruby Franke, right? Her estranged husband was there along with their 2 adult children, and he became very emotional as she was reading her statement. You know, initially it started out with he sort of had a furrowed brow just watching her, but when she started to read her statement, when she started to talk about him, she called him the love of her life. He became very emotional, read, put his head in his hands, started crying. But her 2 kids, we watched them as well, and essentially they sort of stared straight forward. And she said things like, the moment that I was placed in handcuffs was the moment that I got my freedom. And she also had a long list of apologies, Diane, to dole out, and that included to her siblings as well. At one point, Diane, she apologized to her siblings for what she called her choice to roll around in a pigsty. As for Jody Hildebrand's statement, it wasn't as apologetic, and that is something that prosecutors are certainly taking notice of. At one point, she said, Diane, I dearly love these kids. And at that point, Diane, Ruby Franke's older children were very taken aback by that.
Now, Franke and Hildebrand, Kana, were both sentenced to 1 to 15 years per charge on 4 different charges. So why are they looking at a maximum of 30 years of prison time and not 60?
Right, so that's a Utah law here. They're first-time offenders, so their time behind bars would max out here at 30 years. The big discussion yesterday was would they serve this time consecutively or concurrently, so they did decide they will serve it consecutively. At one point, the prosecutor right here on the steps said if Ruby Franke serves 4 years, he sees that as a job well done. He added that he thinks that Jody Hildebrand should serve more time. And Diane, the prosecution does plan on releasing these jailhouse phone calls in which they say proves Hildebrand lacks remorse, and that is something that the parole board will take into consideration. And Diane, ultimately, it's their decision how much time these women will spend behind bars.
ABC News Live anchor Kana Whitworth, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.